Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Keldor. That is Keldor, and he's driving the SU-100 on a standard battle on Ruinberg. SU-100 being a tier 6 tank destroyer for the Russians. I'm going to have a couple of replays from Ruinberg today. The standard version of it, not the Ruinberg on fire, otherwise known as slightly rainy Ruinberg. So, SU-100 is a tier 6 tank destroyer for the Russians. Gets a very nice cannon on it at top tier, has pretty much the same stats as the KV-1S cannon, although it does not have as long a reload. Actually, looking at the reload here, this may not be the cannon that I'm talking about, as I'm pretty sure it only gets a slightly lower reload time than the KV-1S cannon, not such a substantial. You see, the reload on this cannon is only 5 seconds long, so don't really think that this is the same cannon. Let's just have a look. Nope, indeed, it is the 85mm. With 180 alpha damage and 144 penetration. M5 Stuart making a charge right away for the allies here, going to be coming right the way over, but it looks like the allies on this flank are easily going to be able to overpower him and take him out. The good thing about this cannon is, even though it is only the 85mm, because of that reload speed of just about 5 seconds, it is going to be able to pump out a pretty good damage per minute. Having a quick shot at this SU-152 here, not quite able to penetrate him, but he does realise that he's been shot at, as you can see, and starts to back off into the distance a little bit there. I'm not going to say trying to get into a hull down position, obviously, because the tank destroyers don't have turrets. They technically don't have a differentiated hull, but just backing off to try and hide the weakest points of his armour. Finds an E25 here. It looks like the enemy team is rushing with quite a sizable force here. There's at least 3 tanks so far, and there's only Keldor on this SU-122-44 on the other side. Actually, 4 tanks now. So it looks like they're all trying to make a concerted effort to push against the allies here. Finds another SU-100. Managed to land a beautiful shot on his side here. The SU-122-44 doing a fantastic job so far of holding off the enemy tanks, while Keldor offers fire support from the rear. Misses that shot on the SU-100, unfortunately. Couldn't see enough of him, but just going to reposition himself. Whoops, hit the 2x speed button there. Repositions himself so he can have a shot at this Jagdpanther. It looks like the Jagdpanther again is just charging in for this SU-122-44. Lands a lovely shot on his tracks there. Realises that he's only 1 shot from death, so switches up to the weaker point of his armour, just to guarantee that he's going to do damage rather than that just being absorbed by the track. SU-152 charges in now to try and get some shots on Keldor, but I think it looks like, yes, the 122-44 repositions in order to land a shot on the SU-152. Unfortunately, he exposed his rear armor to that T-21, but hopefully Keldor can avenge his fallen comrade, and indeed he can. Takes out the T-21, and that is the battle for the left-hand flank all won now, with some fantastic coordinated teamwork play there. The SU-122-44 holding them from the front, while Keldor offered fire support from the rear, and the two of them were able to take on and take out 4 other tanks between the two of them. So excellent piece of coordinated teamwork there. So now that the battle for the left-hand flank is all won, going to be transitioning towards the middle here. And as you can see, the horrible accuracy of the Russian gun letting him down there. That is his cannon fully aimed, and the targeting reticule is still ridiculously large. KV-1S manages to get out of render range, so it looks like Keldor's going to have to try and close the distance. Maybe what he should have done is try to have a shot on the move, and then his legendary Russian accuracy may have kicked in, and he would have been able to land a shot on that KV-1S. But as it is, he manages to get into cover just in time. Game's all even at the moment at 11 kills to 11, which is a little bit unfortunate, because as the battle on that left-hand side there all wrapped up and all finished, they were winning by 2 kills, but it looks like the guys in the city just didn't have a good time with that whatsoever, as the last one, the KV-1S, falls prey to his counterpart, the enemy KV-1S. But as you can see, that Tiger P has started off a base capture. The T-150 is moving into support, so Keldor's going to be heading through the town now in order to try and offer some help. You just know that KV-1S and T-29 are going to be making a beeline for the cap circle. So Keldor's going to try and come at them from the rear and surprise them, but he spots out a Chi-Nu. Beautiful snapshot to land that right on the commander's hatch. The Chi-Nu finally realizes that he's being shot at and where he's being shot at from, and decides for some reason to slowly back off and miss all of his shots. And Keldor's able to take him out pretty quickly. Decides to focus on the track of the artillery here, but got nowhere near the accuracy to pick out a small part like that. So decides to just switch it up and do some damage. FV realizes he's been shot at, so makes a move. Keldor has a shot and has a beautiful, beautiful hit on the move there. Well, not him on the move, but the FV getting up to speed. And that was a beautiful shot to ammo rack him. Not that he needed the ammo rack, but it's always nice just to land a shot like that. So Tiger P still... No. Scratch that sentence. I was going to say Tiger P still alive in the cap circle there, but it looks like the enemy team has now roared in and taken out the Tiger P and taken out the T-50. So that just leaves Keldor left to face off against the T-29 and KV-1S. T-29's a one-shot, but the KV-1S is going to require at least 2 hits, 2 penetrating hits from Keldor here to finish off. Switching it up to premium rounds now, because he doesn't want to try and risk getting a bounce at this point in the game, because let's face it, the game rests squarely on his shoulders and his actions at the moment. If he plays well, he's going to win. If he doesn't play well, that's going to be GG and the victory to the enemy team. So doesn't want to risk landing a bad shot at a well-armoured point on the T-29 or the KV-1S, so just switches to those premium rounds. They still don't have a fantastic armor penetration value themselves. Finds both of the tanks. They're doing the smart thing of staying together, but the T-29 didn't have the traverse speed to get a shot on target. Trying to get in cover away from this KV-1S. Gets his track taken out. Lands a shot himself. KV-1S staying out in the open, but I think he's just realized now from the damage he sustained that the SU-100 doesn't have the fully upgraded cannon. You can see him thinking about it, staying out in the open there, that he would reload before the SU-100, but then at the last moment realised that the SU-100 didn't have the fully upgraded cannon, so gets himself back behind a building, just because he knew he would get himself taken out there. Keldor going to be doing the smart thing of flanking around. Hopefully that KV-1S is going to think that the SU-100 is staying put in the same position. It's going to come down to a case of, does he have the body and traverse speed to get his gun on target? No, he doesn't, and Keldor takes him out and picks up the victory for his team. So, absolutely awesome replay there from Keldor. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Cookie. That's Cookie, and he's driving the Tiger 1 on a standard battle on Ruinberg. Tiger 1 made a tier 7 heavy tank for the Germans. And this thing can be an absolute beast, especially when it is top tier. The frontal armor may not be fantastically great on it, reasonably thick, but it is pretty flat. But it's the cannon of this thing that makes it pretty damn formidable. Even being able to go hull down with it's pretty good. The turret armor, again, on paper, not very good. But as you may have noticed when Cookie spun his camera around there, you can see that the gun mantlet of the Tiger is pretty much the full size of the turret. So getting hull down with this thing is definitely recommended, as the gun mantlet's going to be able to absorb a hell of a lot of damage. Gets a good early hit on that A-20 there, trying to cover off and dissuade that Hellcat from moving any further forward, or he would have got a good shot on him. There's quite a few enemy vehicles in this area, so if Cookie can push up well, it looks like there's nobody on the right-hand side, except maybe this A-20, who's starting to realise the error of his ways now, as he's run straight into a Tiger 1 heavy tank. And there is his Leopard comrade bringing up the rear. Don't know why he stopped in the middle of the road there. Could have really done with trying to get into cover now. Backing off definitely wasn't the right move, but he definitely should have tried to get into one of the cubby holes on the right or left hand side there. But as it is, Cookie is just being a light tank destroyer at the moment, takes out both of the scout tanks early on, and now he's going to push off against the heavy tanks. See, the rest of his allies also, well, the rest of his platoon also pushing. Another Tiger 1 on the right hand side going forward, just backs off, try and draw some of these heavy tanks out, gets the SU-85 to show his face, but just about misses that shot, which is a little bit unfortunate. But the reload of this Tiger 1 is pretty damn good, so missing shots isn't the end of the world. Tried to shoot at that KV-1, but luckily the KV-1S, which is a much higher priority target, drives in front and takes that shot for him. KV-1's not really going to have a very good time trying to penetrate the front of this Tiger. Got to be careful though, because the KV-1S definitely is going to be able to penetrate the front of a Tiger, so he doesn't want to take that massive alpha damage to the face. This SU-85 playing with fire here and being incredibly lucky. He's managed to be missed twice now. It looks like he has got that derp cannon, so he's able to do a good chunk of damage. Got to be careful with his KV-1S, but it looks like the KV-1S was focusing on the 3001P in the background there, hungry to get the kills rather than the damage. Takes him out, even though Cookie is a much higher priority target here. As you can see, this T-29 from the left-hand side has had more than enough of camping and just decides to go full ham here, just charging in. He's got the support of this SU-85 with him, so Cookie's going to do an excellent job of just backing off and keeping the T-29 between himself and this SU-85 with the derp cannon, although the SU-85 did manage to sneak a shot past. Got to be careful because his T-29's got some decent alpha damage, just goes in for a turret hug, try and make sure that all he can see is that gun mantle. He did manage to take some damage though, this SU-85 having a shot at somebody else, and Cookie should be able to just come around the corner, take him out and pick up kill number 5. So commendable piece of pushing there from the T-29. Unfortunately for him, the KV-1S and the Hellcat didn't come with him. If both of those tanks had come with him, then they would have easily been able to overrun Cookie's position there, take him out, and then they probably would have had a free run towards the base, and that would have been GG and the victory. As it is though, the Allied team is still having a fantastic game, winning at 7 kills to 9 for the enemy. It looks like they've totally overrun the right-hand side. Cookie just taking his time here, wants to see who else is left in this area, because there was a Hellcat and a KV-1S last time they were spotted. And the ridiculous cannon on that KV-1S would be enough to one-shot Cookie if he gets a decent damage roll. Gets a good chunk of damage through his front there as the KV-1S fires at the Comet, I think. May have been firing at that KV-1, not too sure. Starts to take some damage in the rear now. That was from the T-49 from earlier. His ally in the Comet is able to finish off the KV-1S, and the two of them now going to focus on that Panzer. Nope, he's also dead thanks to the Comet, so he's having a fantastic time of overrunning the enemy positions as well. Cookie decides to spin himself around and head back off towards the base here, as there were 3 tanks last spotted on their way to the cap circle. As you can see, they're starting a base capture right about now. Has a look there, but doesn't really want to have a shot on the move. Is spotted out here thanks to his sixth sense. He knows it. He's going to be trying to flank around this church. It looks like this KV-1S has been pretty smart, actually. He's coming to try and delay and hold off the Allied team while his allies, the enemy team, go for that base capture. The T-29, that SU-100, both sat in the cap circle, although it looks like one of them's actually moved out now. Looks like it's that SU-100. Probably thinks that they've got this game in the bag, not realizing that there is a platoon of allies here absolutely kicking arse. That KV-1 manages to sneak around the side there and lands a good shot on that T-29 to reset the cap. And Cookie's going to be heading all the way around in that direction also, as the rest of his allies all close in. They managed to fell that KV-1S. Now it's just this SU-100, T-29 and that Hummel left for the enemy team. This T-29 looks like he's backed off out of the cap circle now, and this SU-100 is also backed off. Going to see if we can get a shot on this T-29. Going to fire right at the commander's hatch, and he's able to sneak a shot through that, which is very, very lucky. Even the commander's hatch on the T-29 pretty heavily armoured. Unfortunately not able to get one through the side armour though, so well, you take the rough with the smooth. Looks like the Allied Tiger 1 has been taken out now, but in reply they pick up the T-29. That leaves this SU-100 versus the Comet and the Tiger 1 here. SU-100 gets taken out in short order by the Comet, and that just leaves this Hummel. So there's still 8 minutes on the clock for the Allies to just try and find this Hummel, not needing to go for a base capture just about yet. As you can see, the Comet using his speed and agility to get up towards the enemy base. Going to be trying to scout out the Hummel's position. Does in fact find him, lands one good shot. Oh, lands another good shot, but the Hummel's able to take him out with just one hit point left. So the Comet not quite able to pick up his 5th kill. He gets eliminated with the Hummel with just one hit point left, and it's going to be left to Cookie to try and clean this one up. Does have to be careful though, because if this Hummel sets himself up well and plays pretty smart, he may be able to take out Cookie now. Last spotted over in that direction. Cookie doesn't really want to charge him down because, like you said, he's definitely a one-shot for this Hummel. He's going to have to play it very, very smart here. And what he's doing is smart. He's going to set himself up in the cap circle and cover off the 2 positions that the Hummel is most likely to come from. You can see he was last spotted on that right-hand side of this building here. So he's either going to come from the right-hand side of the building or the left-hand side of the building. And if he doesn't come from either side of the building, then Cookie's going to win by base capture. And as you can see, just keeping his gun angled between the two approach paths, trying to decide which way the Hummel is going to come from, just keeping his gun in the center there, twitching it from left to right just in case the Hummel does see where he is. Then you can see that he hasn't really got a proper escape, hasn't got a proper approach path. And there's a third route that he could take all the way to the left-hand side. I think that Hummel's probably trying to decide whether he can get in there and stop the base capture, or whether he just wants to sit at the back and not pay a repair cost. Oh, nope, he comes in from the right-hand side. Cookie drives forward, has a shot, and takes him out. Absolutely fantastic piece of reactionary play there from Cookie to pick up kill number 7, the final kill of the game, and the victory for his team. So absolutely awesome replay there from Cookie and his platoon. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a good replay, then please send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining, useful, informative, learned something, or just enjoyed the clips, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, like, favourite, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know exactly what you thought. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.